Welcome to 5 tips for more flavour. When most people think of flavour, they think of French cooking, which is kind of one of the mother cooking areas. Most people will start with butter, they'll finish with cream or cheese. These are our 5 tips to develop more flavour, fast track it in vegan cooking. Okay, point number 1. Learn to season from within. When cooking grains, pasta or veg and boiling it, make sure to season your water. Normally water is seasoned to the same salinity as seawater. A simple way to think of it is about 1 tablespoon per litre of water. In the case of cooking pasta, make sure what happens is the salt will manage to cook into the centre of the pasta. Same with your sweet potato here. What's happening is the salt is going to cook in, the sweet potato is going to be seasoned from within. And finally there with our wholemeal couscous, just to illustrate our grain, we're going to put in a nice generous pinch of salt, mix it through, pour in our water, put a plate on and leave it cook. Don't worry about there being too much excess salt in the water because most of it just ends up going down the drain. Point number 2 is to toast your seeds, your nuts and your spices. By toasting, you're infusing more flavour, you're getting more caramelization and you're changing the texture of the nuts and seeds. They're going to end up with a nice crunchy outer exterior, particularly for salads, for garnishing, for decorating. They really add that extra sensation of flavour. For example, whole spices, whole cumin, whole coriander seeds, by toasting them until they pop, they start to release a lot more aroma, a lot more flavour. Sesame seeds ground with a little bit of salt is a nice gomassia addition of flavour to any kind of salads. And lastly, any kind of nuts such as cashew nuts, almonds, by toasting they're going to be more caramelised and concentrated source of flavour. Point number 3 is umami. And umami, the direct translation for the word is deliciousness. Umami is represented typically with tamari, with shoyu, with miso, with soya sauce, all of these deeply concentrated flavors that have been used time as the main basis for concentrating the flavor. Tamari is fantastic. It's a wheat-free soya sauce. If you watched our videos before, you'll know I use it a lot. I find it goes fantastic with a lot of dishes, particularly coconut-based sauces, tomato-based sauces, actually all sauces and most vegetables. Except sweet dishes. So the one thing to be conscious with tamari is that it's high in sodium, so obviously if you're using tamari, be conscious to use it in relationship to salt. Miso is actually a living food, it's fantastic, so try not to add it to boiling sauces, try to add it when things start to cool a little. Miso soup is fantastic, we've got a good few recipes for that. Just check up here or check down below for the miso recipes. Any tamari or soy sauce is a great means when you have to dilute a dish. When a dish it's a little too strong and you got to dilute it and balance the flavour. The small addition of soy sauce, shoyu or tamari can add just that extra oomph of deliciousness. Point number 4, fat has twice the calories when compared to protein and carbohydrate. By using a little bit more whole food sources of fat, you're going to add more calories, more satiation and deliver more flavour. Simple thing that we often do is we'll make a nut butter emulsion, so adding the likes of almond butter, cashew nut butter or even peanut butter and blending it up with a little bit of vegetable stock, some onion, garlic, ginger and a few different spices, and suddenly you have a wonderful creamy sauce that's based around whole foods. Yeah, obviously also you can add coconut milk is a great way of adding more fat to dishes. Serving your dishes with avocado is another way, or olives. These are other great whole food sources of fat. They're going to deliver more flavour and more satiation. Point number 5 and the final one is to use compression. When cooking vegetables such as mushrooms or aubergines, really use compression. Slice your mushrooms or your aubergines nice and fine, add them to the pan, try to spread them out so they're evenly covered. Take another clean pan, make sure the base of it is nice and clean and put it down on top of it and you add a little bit of weight to it. By using compression, you're almost creating a dual grill. You're going to create more caramelization, more brownage, and you're going to infuse a lot more flavour into the mushrooms or the aubergines. It also gives an opportunity for more of the moisture of the mushrooms and the aubergines to evaporate, so you're going to have a more concentrated, more meaty-like texture. That's our 5 tips to infuse more flavour into your food. Let's start a dialogue with this. If you've got any thoughts on how you infuse more flavour in your food, leave a comment down below. Let's get a conversation going around this. Those are our 5 tips after being chefs for 14 or 15 years now. Thanks a mil for watching, thanks for subscribing, and bye! Cheers!